What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ground Force Gaming. Nova here with another Street Fighter Duel video. This is my third video I put out today. This is going to be the new fighter trial realm for Fire Adon. He's brand new as of today, so I thought I would just do what I normally do and just do a quick run through of these. It's going to be normal speed. You can take your time, pause it if you need to, copy the lineups, take screenshots if you need to, whatever it might be, copy the combos as well. These worked for me, but there's always RNG involved. So if you use this team on any of these fights and it doesn't work for you, just run it back. If it worked for me, it's going to work for you, right? So this one was pretty easy overall. We have a lot of really good fighters that are, available to us to use, and Fire Adon is pretty good. I mean, he's kind of squishy in the early game. Now he does gain some damage reduction, some effect resist, some attack boosting and things like that through his kit. But in the very early game, he is a little bit susceptible. I think it is possible to have him get knocked in the early stages of a fight if you're not too careful. But I didn't have that issue with him. I didn't have him get knocked really that often at all. So I really enjoyed using him. Sometimes in these trials, I don't even use the fighter that's being offered because this is a situation that's not that great for them. If you go back to Fashion Ken and Witch Jury, those were tough trials because those are boss fighters. Those are not PvP, PvE scenario fighters. They don't do well in this kind of situation, and you're stuck using them. So that's not the case this time around. He does very well in this, and I don't really think that you need to use his super. It's pretty good, but the C3 is where it's at. I see him, truthfully, as really just kind of another Dhalsim in a way. He's passively buffing himself, and then he's also, it's like a combination of Dhalsim and Mummy Dhalsim, where he's doing this burn. He's creating this firewall that's kind of like the fire carpet, but it's just staying on the field, and it's doing DOT, and it's inflicting burn. And it's reducing speed. If you have his 3 out of 6 vehicles, you're reducing speed from the enemy team. So you're kind of getting a poison effect out of this as well. I think he's really good. And I was very, very intrigued in using him during this trial because I got to test him out with Flame Chun-Li. On the very top left fight, Flame Chun-Li is there, so you can use her with him. And I basically just ran it the same way that I would run a Flame Chun-Li Dhalsim team, where I was doing Flame Chun-Li, support for C1, Flame Chun-Li for C2, and then him for C3. And he does very well with that flame penetration being stacked on the enemy because he's benefiting off of being able to do more burn and more flame damage. It's pretty good. I'm very impressed with him as just a regular normal faction fighter. I'm definitely going to be trying to pull him as much as I can. I did some faction draws earlier today for Flame. I didn't get any, but I'm definitely going to be trying to get him up to at least SSS, or, at least SS for sure, but SSS as quickly as I possibly can, because I would really like to see him out on the field. I think that C3 is really good, and I think there's going to be a really good play for using him with Flame Chun-Li and then putting Dhalsim back with Fashion Blanca. So we'll see how things play out. I really need to get him leveled myself so I can test him on bosses and that kind of thing. So I can't really do too much testing on that on my own right now outside of this trial. But I'll try to build him up as fast as I can, and then we'll be able to do a more comprehensive review of him. But at the end of this video, we do go over the skills a little bit, but it's not really what this video is about. I just show them. I'm going to do full review on the 2 new fighters later with DatScat, most likely. I just need to wait and find the time to do that. So this trial is pretty much almost over at this point, and it's the next fight that has the Flame Chun-Li. So again, guys, if you're doing these trials and you lose with the same team that I'm using, it's just RNG. Just run it back, do the same thing again. I ran all these on auto, didn't do any manual at any point for these. But man, his C3 is it's a must use. It does so much damage. It's really kind of look at the damage ticks of this. It's so good. He takes out poison upon entering the field. It's really good. That's normally a team that's quite difficult because the Honda Elena combination that we see sometimes in these trials can be very difficult to deal with. But all that passive DOT that he's doing is counteracting all of the healing that's being done. It's really good. Really, really good. So this is where you see I'm like looking at him like, ooh, did I put a tank in here? And then I was like, wait a minute, Flame Chun-Li's here. Gotta use her. So you'll see what I mean. His damage is definitely even higher when we see this one play out with Flame Chun-Li buffing that. So I need to play this one back a couple times because it was super fun playing this and like seeing such a high success with that damage output. So there's one down. I mean, the burn damage is slowly taken away at Dudley here. Okay, here comes Adon. It's just good. It's just good. He's just good. If you're looking for a new C3 to use and you're looking for, someone to swap out for whatever reason, this is definitely the guy for it. He's doing amazing damage. And for anybody that's starting this game out now, try and build him and Dulcim right away. That would be my recommendation. But yeah, that's the trial. Hopefully that helps you guys beat it, get your rewards really quickly here. We're just going to pop into his bio here real quick so we can take a look at the skills. Like I said, I'm not really going to go over this that in depth because we'll do a real review later. But so his passive is he's gaining Fire Leopard, and basically the way that this works is when he has Fire Leopard, it helps him to, by my understanding, just do the firewall. It doesn't really explain it that much. Up to 2 fire marks can be gained at once, and no more than 1 mark can be gained every 5 seconds. I think it makes him do it randomly. I don't know. I need to read into that a little bit more. It's kind of a confusing thing because it doesn't have like a little thing at the bottom that says like exactly what it is. Yeah, I think it like the stacks as they stack up, he does, more firewalls or something like that. Gains of the fire 30 melee strikes using combo 3. Each fire leopard mark unleashes a wall of fire. Okay, so the more he has when he does his 3, then he does a better firewall or more of a firewall. I don't really know how that functions, but this is what I was talking about, the 3 out of 6 here. So reducing speed gauge by 100 and reduce healing by 50%. That is the most perfect counter to a difficult team to take down due to a surplus of healing. It's amazing. And then this is what I was talking about before, this kid, how he's just doing kind of like a passive stacking. So he's doing damage reduction, he's doing effect accuracy, and then he also increases attack and his own effect accuracy. I think I mentioned effect resist before, but I don't think he's gaining effect resist unless he's doing both. But he's definitely increasing his effect accuracy. Anyway, whatever. Like I said, we'll talk about him more in depth another day. But that was the trial, guys. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you have any comments for me, please throw them in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, throw a like on the video. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.